Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me for another office hours training. I'm Crystal L. Gunn, your financial strategist and small business advisor. Part of my job as that strategist, being on the business side or the personal side, is to help you create a solid financial relationship or a strong business base or foundation on which you can grow. I also help you have some aha moments, some self-discovery moments, and helping you see what no longer serves you so that you can release all of that and soar. And all that helps with the breakthroughs. That's where you start to shift. That's where the magic happens, be it in your personal finances or your overall business. So it's Tuesday. So let's talk credit. And last month I talked about mistakes people make with their credit cards. Go back and watch those episodes. And I will do more of those in July. But since it's June, and June is National Home Ownership Month, I have specifically been talking about credit mistakes people make when buying a home. So when qualifying for a mortgage, basic guidelines include income, debt to income ratio, credit score. I think I just made this worse. And so you must meet minimum credit score requirements for the mortgage product. Different products and different lenders will have different minimum credit score requirements. Some of the biggest mistakes people make, the biggest mistake people make with their credit when wanting to purchase a home is waiting too long to make sure your credit is good enough to qualify. And so last Tuesday, I talked about that, and go back and watch that episode. I gave 3 credit mistakes people make. So let's talk about 3 more credit mistakes in general, and specifically when preparing to apply for a mortgage. So applying for new credit. Each application for new credit results in a hard inquiry on your credit report, which can temporarily lower your credit score and signal to lenders that you might be taking on more debt. In general, you should not over apply for credit. Apply for what you need when you need it. You want to stay away from the debt cycle, which can get you in trouble financially, right? I also want to mention that when you are in the mortgage process, so really from the time you get a pre-approval on that mortgage, a mortgage pre-approval, and then you start looking for your property, until the time you close on that home, do not get any new debt, right? I've seen too many times people are in the mortgage process and they get a new car loan. And the car loan, the payment is more expensive than the previous car loan they have. And it throws their debt to income ratio out of whack. And now they don't qualify for that mortgage. And there's nothing that they can do. There's no other debt that they can pay down. There's nothing that they can do to create expenses on the debt side in order to get that down payment. In order to get that debt to income ratio back in line. So do not, right, get any new debt while you're going through the mortgage process. Okay. Also, when you want to get pre-approved for a mortgage, right? You may, if you haven't gotten a referral to a lender that you know you're going to use, if you're looking and shopping for a mortgage loan, and you know you're going to go to these 3 different institutions, go to all of those institutions in the same week and allow them to pull your credit in the same week. Do not just, get one this week, another one 2 weeks from now, and another one 2 weeks from now. Credit reporting agencies understand that when you're searching for a mortgage, you are going to go to more than one lender, and each one of those lenders, in order to do a pre-approval, have to pull your credit. To minimize on a lender pulling your credit, when you talk to a mortgage loan officer, ask them some questions first. There's a list that I have that I'm going to put the link in the description that is 20 questions for you to ask your mortgage lender. This is before they even pull your credit, so that you kind of understand the requirements, if it's somebody that you even want to work with, and if it's even a, you understand what kind of programs they have, if they have down payment assistance and you need it. And so you can get these questions answered before you even allow them to pull your credit. Okay. The second mistake is high balances on credit cards. Carrying high balances, even if you're making minimum payments, increases your utilization and can negatively impact your credit score. So the higher your credit card utilization, the more of a hit you're taking on that credit score. And credit card utilization is the amount of the balance versus the limit. So the higher the balance to the limit, the more of a hit that you're taking on your score. Okay, let's just stop because that's going to wear me out. The email dinging. Okay, so again, the higher your balance to the limit, the more of a hit you're going to take on your credit score. So paying off credit card balances each month is ideal. That is how you should be using your credit effectively. But if you must carry a balance, keep it as far below 30% of the limit as you can and have a plan to pay that balance off. So let's say you had to have some work done at the house and it was, several $1,000s, or on your car and it was several $1,000s, and you put it on your credit card. Well, you may not be able to pay that balance in full that following month, but you must decide, okay, well, I'm going to pay this off in 3, 4 to 5 months, and make sure that in your budget you have that amount, and that amount is going to that credit card every single month, so that you're paying it off in the time frame that you set. Don't just let it keep going, because then you wind up paying all of this extra interest. So also, if you need to raise your credit scores, right, for mortgage qualification purposes. So let's say you're looking for some down payment assistance and they require, a 640 and your credit score is 635, right? Everything else is in place. You just need to raise it a little bit. Pay down credit card debt first. Pay it down. Don't pay them off. Start with paying the balances below 30% of the limit, and start with the credit cards that require the least amount of money to get those balances done. So let's say you have a credit card with a $2,500 limit and the balance is $2,300. But then you have 4 or 5 credit cards that have limits at, 500, 250. Pay those smaller balances off first. It's going to take less money to get those down below 30%. Pay those down and then see what happens to your credit score that following month to see if your score has risen enough. It should, but again, it also is depending upon how many of those credit cards you're able to get down in balances. The earlier you start this process, the better. It will give you time to do that. A lot of times people will go in and say, well, I'm just going to pay this credit card off. Nope. Pay those down first that you can below 30. Those that you cannot get down below 30, if you still have money left over, just pay those down. It will have an impact on your credit score, right? The third mistake is not checking your credit reports. So failing to review your credit reports for errors and fraudulent activity can result in a lower score if negative information is not addressed. Pull your credit reports today with FICO scores. There are links in the description below. You want to make sure that you're in a good position before you even go to the lender for pre-approval. Don't wait until it's an emergency, right? Oh, I got to move within the next, 2 months and your score is 550, right? Don't wait until you need your credit to take a look at it and fix it. Look today, fix it, and then practice good credit management. So what is my favorite thing today? It is the credit checkup, right? I do a lot of these for people who want to buy homes. And the reason that I do so many of these is because you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. If you're not in the industry, you don't know guidelines, right? I have been a mortgage loan officer. I stay in touch with mortgage loan officers today. I know the guidelines for different programs. I make it a point to know that, and then to help you Do the things that you need to do to get right. And so to do the things, a lot of times people think, okay, well, I'm gonna do this, 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 and this. And like I said before, in the high credit card balances, you may not need to pay them all the way off, right? Or there may be something else. You got collection accounts, and you think, well, I'm just gonna pay all of these collection accounts off. Before you start doing that and spending money that you may not have to spend in order to get you where you need to be to qualify for a mortgage, right? And so that's the thing. Even when I do credit repair, if someone comes to me and they need credit repair, right? And so we're doing credit repair, credit build, and credit coaching because I can't do just credit repair. But if we're doing credit repair, credit build, and credit coaching, I know what it takes for you to qualify for a mortgage. So we're going to do the things that is going to get you there the quickest. It's not that we're ever prolonging things, but you don't need squeaky clean A1 credit to get that mortgage, right? Or someone who just does credit repair and doesn't necessarily know mortgage guidelines may try to get, your stuff squeaky clean. Well, you don't need squeaky clean to get a mortgage. Now we can continue to do the repair after that and the build and the coaching after you get the mortgage. But let's look at what it is that you need to do in order to get you over the goal line of the mortgage, which is the thing that you wanted to do in the first place. Get it? So get that credit checkup. It is in the description below. And again, what are those next things to do? Listen, if you're trying to get a mortgage, again, start as early as possible. Don't wait until the last minute. There's been, credit clients that I have turned down just because, you know what, you have this unrealistic expectation. You got this 550 credit score. You need to close and, you need to you got to move out of your place in 2 months. So you think that you're going to find that your credit is going to increase enough, right? You got, this 550 credit score. You got 6 collection accounts. You think that your credit is going to improve enough in 60 days. Can it? Right? It can improve in the 60 days. But then now you have 60 days for it to be approved before you get, improve before you can get a pre-approval, right? Again, because any type of disputes, any type of thing, whatever it is we're trying to do with a credit agency or collection account or some other credit company, the law says they got 30 days to respond, right? So I have turned down, you know, credit repair and coaching clients because they just have this unrealistic expectation that it's just going to happen overnight. It's not. You have to start early. You have to start looking at your credit early. And I cannot say it enough, yell it from the mountaintops. Don't wait until you need your credit to make sure it's where it should be. If you know it's not good, don't wait until you need it to then want to try to clean it up. And now you're on somebody's head like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. What are you going to do? Right? So, next things, pull your credit reports with FICO scores. Why? Because FICO scores are what mortgage lenders pull. Now, mortgages, they're going to pull a mortgage credit report, right? And when you're using these other, places where you can pull your credit scores, they're going to give you a FICO score. You just need to be in range. And I say this over and over again. Make sure your credit score is as high as it can be, right? Just make sure it's as high as it can be. I did a workshop last night and it was about credit. And I said, strive for 740, right? If you're trying to get a mortgage, strive, and you need to get a mortgage relatively quickly, strive for over 680. 680 to 700. That means no matter where you're pulling it from, no matter where you're pulling your FICO scores from, you're going to be where you need to be to qualify for just about every program that they have, right? So pull your credit reports with FICO scores. Review your scores and the reports. It's not just enough, especially when you're looking at a mortgage, it's not just enough to look at your credit scores, right? You also need to look at, did you have any installment late payments in the last 12 to 24 months? What's the, are these credit cards utilization high? Can I pay them down, which will make this score go up? What is that debt to income ratio? There's so many things that you need to look at. So don't just look at the scores, review the entire report. Make sure what's reporting is actually yours. You see a lot of times, especially juniors and seniors, right? John Doe Jr., John Doe Senior, John Doe the second or the third, and they will have things reporting on their reports that doesn't belong to them. It might be their dads, it might be the sons or whatever. So review your reports along with the scores just to make sure everything is okay, and then get to work. If it's not okay, get to work. Get to work as soon as you possibly can. Get to work. So this information has been helpful. Please, 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 please subscribe to my channel and share this information with somebody that you know. You never know what somebody is praying for. This information shared on this channel might be the thing that answers their prayers and helps them get to where they are trying to go. So don't be a gatekeeper of the information. Share it. Also, if you are in need of personal business strategy, let's talk about it. The consultation scheduling links are below in the description. Stop self-sabotaging and not getting your stuff done. Right? It's time to do something different. And remember, always, always, always give yourself some grace. You don't know what you don't know. The problem is that you won't go get the information that you need. That's the problem. So keep striving for your next level. You're not in competition with anybody else. You're in competition with who you were yesterday. So keep striving for your next level. Never give up on you and invest in you. I promise you, it is the best investment that you will ever make. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you on the other side. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Be sure to join me for the private online Q&A immediately following. The link is in the description. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn notifications on so you never miss this opportunity. Thank you again, and I will see you on the other side.